Welcome back. Welcome back. You made Dominic K in here. Dominic K in the morning on the all new radioandfire.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Man, so much to get into today. And happy Monday to everybody. This thing in Florida, this disaster in Florida, continuing on. Rescue workers have been tunneling, trying to find more survivors. They have been digging feverishly. This is the fifth day. Today, Monday, fifth day. And they are stressing that they still could find survivors in the rubble of the collapsed Florida condo building. And this is a hope, obviously, that family members clung to, even though no one has been pulled out alive since the first day that this structure fell. So no survivors have been pulled out. The death toll rose by just 4 people yesterday to a total of 9 confirmed dead. But more than 150 people still missing in this Surfside building, this South Tower building. And families of the missing rode buses to the site nearby from which they could watch the teams work yesterday. Firefighters, sniffer dogs, search experts. They used radar. They used sonar devices, just trying to get some form of life. These 150 people that they are looking for. So their heads are going to roll from this when they figure out exactly what was the cause of this tragedy in Florida. From what I am seeing, it seems to me, I really don't want to make any proclamations about what caused this, but it seems to me that something was missed from regards to the building, whether it was the local government, whether it was contractors, something happened, and of course, the powers that be have not been sharing everything. But if you watch some of the press conferences and the news updates that they've been giving, little things, they say stuff like there are going to be big changes, this is never going to happen again, and things like that. Like there was something missed, and people that have seen the building or lived in the area have been saying that there were things wrong. And to some folks, this was not a surprise. That, while I'm sure it's a surprise of the way that this crumbled with it, it's not a surprise to many people that something happened. That something happened. So a deputy incident commander with the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue, Andy Alvarez, told ABC Good Morning America today that rescuers have been able to find some voids inside the wreckage, mostly in the basement and the parking garage areas. He said that we have over 80 rescuers at a time that are breaching the walls that collapsed in a frantic effort to try to rescue those that are still viable and to get to those voids that we typically know exist in these buildings. They're talking about safe areas, but they are having to tunnel through the building. And if you've had a chance to look at this wreckage, that is a feat within itself. So they have these big cranes that are helping the rescuers lift large pieces of concrete off the pile, and they're trying to get through them. And he says it's a frantic search, but to me, frantic is maybe you could say frantic, but I mean they're moving slow. Usually when I think of frantic, I'm thinking of people moving quickly. They're moving slow for many reasons. Now the pressure. This is a pressured search. They're under pressure, I don't think that they're moving frantically. I don't think that if you ask any of the family members, are they moving frantically, that they would say that. So the families of missing, just your heart, your thoughts and prayers, and your heart just goes out to them. Some of these families had hoped their visit to the site of this near 12-story building would allow them to shout messages to loved ones if possible. It is just a desperate thing that the families are feeling. So they're staying in a nearby hotel. It had, you've seen some of the video of the family. It's just I mean, it's just a sad thing. All in all, of course, the building collapsed just days before the condo owners were to make steep payments towards more than $9 million in repairs that had been recommended nearly 3 years earlier. Let me say that again. The owners of this building, who I am sure are really going to have some issues. So they were supposed to make recommended repairs almost for 3 years. And the report warned of major structural damage. Now, here's why I say there's going to be more people to be accountable for this than just the building owners. Because, these were recommended, like they should be forced to do this. They were taking rent or mortgage, they were taking money, they had the money. They should have started the repairs. And then from the government perspective, these repairs should have been mandated for 3 years. For 3 years. So, I'm not making any proclamations. I'm just saying this smells fishy. This is crazy. This is crazy. So it makes me think about other buildings in this country. And when we talk about infrastructure, what other buildings are in this state throughout the country? I'm sure this is not the only building. I'm sure that in this country, this is not the only building where repairs have been recommended. I'm using the air quotes, recommended, and have not been done. The debris field is scattered where this building once stood. Could there be another building after this? This ain't the only building. So we talk about infrastructure in this country, and then we have Democrats and Republicans arguing over what infrastructure is, and Republicans want to not spend any money. Democrats want to spend all the money. And while they argue, our infrastructure is crumbling. Not just this. We have roads. We have sinkholes. We have all kind of stuff throughout the country that is crumbling around us. And Democrats and Republicans are arguing, I don't want to spend the money. Ooh, let's spend all the money. Let's make more money. Let's print new money. Oh, I want you to spend COVID money. But your constituents are dying. So President Joe Biden said in a statement that he spoke with the FEMA administrator about these efforts after he visited the site. Biden said his administration is prepared to provide assistance and support. I don't know. It's just the way that this thing is laying out. The way that everything is unfolding, there's going to be a lot of blame to go around to a lot of people, a lot of companies, and a lot of agencies, because how something was able to just fly under the radar for almost 3 years is beyond me. It is beyond me. Just tuning in, Dominic in the morning, on the allnewradioonfire.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. We're here at 8 a.m. weekdays. RadioOnFire.com, also YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K. Of course, you can get our audio feeds on WRF Radio, the app. Also, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Anywhere you get audio programs, just search Diamond K in the Morning. As it relates to Baltimore news, it was another violent weekend in the city of Baltimore with at least 6 shootings, 2 murders, including a young man and a teenager who were both shot during a large fight along Pratt Street at the Inner Harbor. When people talk about Baltimore, people from out of town visiting Baltimore, they always talk about the Inner Harbor. Folks that live in Baltimore, I mean, the Inner Harbor is not really a big deal because if you live in the city of Baltimore, I mean, I guess it's like Centennial Park in Atlanta. I mean, it's just like, it's something that you always have known. It's not a big deal, and all of that. But the Inner Harbor to visitors is a landmark. And I guess it's a landmark to residents of Baltimore. But city police said that officers that worked that Inner Harbor area were called around 10:45 to the 400 block of East Pratt Street, where a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old were suffering from gunshot wounds. Both were taken to hospitals and were in stable condition. A preliminary investigation indicates that a group of juveniles were fighting in the area when someone shot the 2 victims. Just before 5 a.m. on Sunday, police found a man shot multiple times on East Fayette Street in the Douglas Homes in southeast Baltimore. His condition is unknown. They're looking into that case. Additionally, a 25-year-old man was shot around 9:30 p.m. Sunday on Reisterstown Road in northwest Baltimore. He was taken to the hospital. His condition also unknown. And finally, a man shot around 10 p.m. Sunday in the 2200 block of McCullough Street later died at the hospital. So, I mean, the city of Baltimore continues on the path toward toppling 300 murders for the 7th year straight. 300 murders. I mean, we're on that course. We're on that course. So, as of last night, police hadn't made any arrests for the shootings over the weekend. So, what is causing this spike in crime? Of course, people on the right are going to say, oh my God, the spike in crime is because people are defunding the police and they're criminalizing police and just making it bad for police. And this is not the reason that this crime is happening. Just so you know. Just so you know, this is not the reason that crime is happening. But you will have people, political people, make those proclamations, and that's why this is happening. That's why that is happening. We have got to deal with the economics, the inequity, and much of this stuff starts at home. There's not one factor to point to. There's not one factor. Because if you go back to the time when the police where the defunding the police conversation didn't even exist, and you had crime levels the same way that we have it right now. Oh, they don't have no answer for that. Well, why did it exist before? Maybe it was because in the future they were going to talk about defunding the police. No, because that's not the reason. That is not the reason. Diamond K in the Morning with the allnewradioonfire.com. Of course, on all social media, I'm at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. A 1.7 magnitude earthquake was felt in southwest Baltimore early yesterday. 1.7 quake hit in Irvington near Emerson Village around 1:50 a.m. Not far from where I grew up, Irvington. This also comes after a 2.6 magnitude earthquake hit the same area on Friday. What is going on? So no reports of any damage or injuries, but earthquakes in the city of Baltimore, not something that we are used to. I remember we had an earthquake a couple years ago. I was downtown when that happened, and that was that was serious. Um, Not with regards to damage, but just your furniture moving in the building and things of that nature. If you're not used to that, that is something crazy. Capital Gazette gunman, the insanity case is starting after 3 years. You remember this tragedy? 3 years after the deadliest attack on a newsroom in U.S. history, residents who were obviously shaken by the assault on their local newspaper. This assault, if you remember, killed 5 people, are hopeful that an end to the gunman's dragging court case is finally near. This has almost been the amount of time that they should have repaired those the condos in Florida. 3 years. So opening statements in the second phase of this trial are scheduled for tomorrow. And they're going to determine whether Ramos was legally sane at the time of the mass shooting. How are they going to determine that? What was he sane at the time? Try this murderer. What are you talking about? He pleaded guilty to all 23 counts against him in October of 2019, but he is contending that he is not criminally responsible due to mental illness. Oh, is that right? Is that right? It's got to be hard. The 3-year anniversary is coming up in a few days, and there still hasn't even been a trial. This has got to weigh on people. The difficulty of the case was evident during the jury selection. Potential jurors described how hard it would be to view the evidence, while others described connections that they had with that local newspaper. So this is something that has been dragging on, and the case is actually happening at a time when the newspaper is going through a transition with a new owner. The New York-based hedge fund Alden Global Capital. So that's happening. The second part of the trial was initially set for November 2019, but Ramos' lawyers were granted a postponement. The defense contended that they had not received adequate information about what experts for the prosecutors intended, what they were going to tell the jury. The trial was delayed again in February after one of the accused murderers' 3 public defenders left the case for medical reasons, pushing it back to June 2020. Then the pandemic delayed it even further. So here we go again. The accused murderer, Ramos, 41 years old, had a well-documented history of harassing the newspaper's journalists. He filed a lawsuit against the paper back in 2012, alleging that he was defamed in an article about his conviction in a criminal harassment case from 2011. His defamation suit was dismissed as groundless. And then, you fast forward and then you have this tragedy happening where he kills a bunch of people that worked at this newspaper. So, of course, the legal system is one of those times where it is just delaying justice in this case. So we're going to continue to follow this as it unfolds. 5 new speed cameras going online in Baltimore in July. All you folks that like to speed around town, nowhere to go, just speeding around. I never understood what that was about, by the way. Anyway, these 5 new speed enforcement cameras will go online. Now, the speed cameras detect vehicles that exceed the posted speed limit by at least 12 miles. Speed cameras operate in Baltimore City school zones weekdays 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. throughout the year. If you don't know, but I'm sure you speed demons know this, speed camera violations are $40 per state law. So automated speed cameras will begin enforcement on or about July 19th in several locations. In all these locations, people drive too fast. So the 24 to 3200 blocks of East Monument eastbound near Tench Tillman Elementary Middle School and William Paca Elementary School. The 800 and 1400 block of Key Highway north and southbound near Digital Harbor High School. Also the 2100 to 2800 blocks of Patapsco Avenue, eastbound and westbound, near Lansdowne Middle and Lakewood Elementary Middle Schools. Y'all gotta slow down, okay? The reason why they put up all these cameras is because they're making so much money from the cameras. And they want you to drive slower near the schools, but in that order. 1100 and 1900 block of East Preston Street near Johnston Square Elementary and Collington Square Elementary. Lastly, the 3300 to 4100 block of Hillen Road near Mervo and Montebello Elementary and Middle School. Enforcement in all these locations may be on a temporary, rotating, or permanent basis. They're not even putting that information out. So you just got to be on alert. Just slow down. I mean, there's no need to continue to give this government your $40 and they're going to misuse the money anyway. Keep your money in your pocket and slow down. Save a life. And save your money. Come on. You want to donate some money to the city or a good cause, do that. But don't just speed around and give the government your $40. I'm sure you can find better things to do with your $40. Put it in your tank. Something else. Something productive. This is not productive. This is not a productive way to part with your money. John McKay in the morning on the allnewradiofire.com. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. YouTube.com/DJ Diamond K. Starting tomorrow, we will have the traffic jam mix. I believe at 5 o'clock. Is that the time that is stated? 5 o'clock? Yeah, we'll confirm that. I believe that it's 5 o'clock. Anyway, we'll be going in the mix, as I said, here on radiofire.com. And I think we're going to have some other partners as well. I'll get back to you on that. Either way, we're starting tomorrow with the traffic jam mix. Always good when we can do that. Over the weekend, Atlanta had a major fight, which was really good. Javante Tank Davis came through, Baltimore's own, and knocked out Mario Barrios in the 11th round, TKO. Good fight. Tank Davis fighting a much taller fighter. Both were undefeated. Davis knocked him down 3 times during the fight. Referee stepped in and stopped the fight. It was a very hard body shot. But it was about to be really bad for Barrios. Tank Davis becoming a 3-division champion after this 11th round TKO victory. against the WBA regular junior welterweight champion, Mario Barrios. After the fight, Tank stated it was basically me trying to figure him out and see what he do good. That's what I'm doing. I was basically trying to figure him out. I didn't want to overdo it and wind up getting caught because I didn't know what he was bringing. So basically, I didn't get him out of there because of myself early. Basically, that's what it was, talking about why he didn't end it sooner than the 11th round. Barrio gave a statement after the fight. He said that Tank's explosive and caught me slipping. So it was a good fight. The undercard was good as well. And, you know, definitely hats off to Barrios. But Tank is explosive. Tank is explosive. I am very impressed with Tank Davis. People like a knockout artist. People like seeing things like this go down. Another thing happened over the weekend, also on Saturday. I was not expecting to enjoy the verses, right? I was, you know, it was Soulja Boy versus Bow Wow. And, you know, with something like that, with Soulja Boy versus Bow Wow, well, we still ended up with a good, entertaining thing. So Soulja Boy was a surprise guest. I'm sorry, Romeo, surprise guest during this outing. I was not expecting to see Romeo. Romeo, of course, I mean, I guess he's somebody that, you know, Bow Wow has been pitted against naturally because they were teenage, I don't know, heartthrobs. Is that you want to call it that? They were teenage heartthrobs, and so naturally they pitted these two artists against each other during their primes. Now, Romeo by no means had the type of hits that Bow Wow had. And so when Romeo came out, it was a total surprise to me because, of course, Soulja Boy and Romeo didn't have any songs together. So it confused me like why he was there, but I guess he brought him out because of the history between those two. And so Romeo comes out and he compares himself ultimately. I mean, he squashed the beef and he compares himself to Kobe, Bow Wow to MJ, and Soulja Boy to LeBron. And a lot of people finding humor. A lot of people finding humor in that comparison. But it was a very entertaining evening. I really forgot some of the hits that Bow Wow and Soulja Boy had. I really forgot. I mean, you know the main ones. We don't really play too much Bow Wow in the club. But when you really look back at some of those hit records that he had, it was, you know, he did his thing. He got another Millennium Tour coming. It seems like you always have a Millennium Tour. So I don't know how that's going to do, but I was entertained with the antics of both artists. The antics are pretty crazy between these artists. It was an interesting and entertaining versus. So they're on stage. You got the DJs. Academics was in the mix. There was a lot of things going on. Soulja Boy lighting up, smoking, kids on the stage. It's all kind of it was all kind of violations and crazy things happening. But that is hip hop. That is the entertainment world. And so that's what it is. I don't know what the next verses is going to be. They were talking about Mary J. Blige and Tony Braxton. So Mary J. shut that down, says that that is not going to happen. No, no verses for MJB. I wish she would do it though. So I guess she's like, what's the benefit for her? And some of these big time artists, they feel like that. They feel like there's no benefit to them. I disagree. Because at the end of the day, this is about reminding people of your music, the fans enjoying things. And I think that it promotes the artist in a way that is beneficial. And I can't think of anybody that they would put Mary J. Blige up against that would have a catalog that could even touch her. She would wipe the floor with Tony Braxton, right? But their songs are different. So maybe if they find a matchup that she likes better. I mean, I don't even know who's in the lane of Mary J. Blige. Nobody even comes close that they're going to put up against her, right? Who can you think of? I can't think of anybody from the 90s, some singer that they could put up against Mary J. Blige. That's going to be close. I mean, Tony Braxton I guess it's probably about the best that you can do for Mary J. Blige. But I guess Mary's like, I don't even want it. It's no competition. I mean, she will mop the floor. Her catalog is crazy. And don't let Mary start dancing, right? But I guess Mary's like, look, and maybe this might be it. Maybe Mary said, I wouldn't do no live singing. And she don't have to do the live singing if she don't want to. Her catalog, people just love Mary J. Blige. But I don't know who you could, I mean, you couldn't do Missy. I mean, I don't know. Who could go against Mary J. Blige? The Tony Braxton thing is cool, but a lot of her records are so slow. And Mary has a really wide range tempo-wise. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see Mary J. Blige anytime soon. There's some people we're just not going to see. I don't think we're going to see Beyonce. I don't think we're going to see Jay-Z, although I would like to see Jay-Z, but I don't think we're going to see Jay-Z. I don't think we're going to see Drake. I don't think we're going to see Chris Brown. These are all people we want to see. Usher and Chris Brown, I think, would maybe be, I don't know. You never can call these things, because I never thought that we'd see a Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, and let alone it would be enjoyable. So I was wrong. I was wrong on all aspects of that. But that happened anyway. Just hit it at WK Awarding, the AudioRadioFire.com. And just so much stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff you get into. When you talk about verses, lastly, the antics. Soulja Boy playing a song like 3 times back to back with different random French Montana appearance. I never thought that we were going to see French Montana at verses. But as I said, highly entertaining. And then during the 15th round, Soulja Boy asked Bow Wow, how you never did a song with Drake. And he then played his 2013 collaboration, We Made It, which I love that song. There was so much entertainment. DJ Paul comes out of nowhere. He brought some girls out. It was just kind of like random. Jermaine Dupri, of course, the Brat, we saw them. One of the members from the Franchise Boys. And of course, we talked about Romeo, French Montana. Soulja Boy bringing out DJ Paul. That kind of got things lit a little bit, but it was still like, wow, what just happened? I enjoyed it. For some reason, though, the crowds never react the way I expect them to. They never really get into it the way like the crowds are too cool. They got to hold their phones and they never really get into it the way that you would expect a crowd at a concert to get into some great music. In every verses, they give us great music. You can't front on that. Every verses, we get great music. So what's the next verse is going to be? I don't know. I know that there's going to be one. and then I think that now that the pandemic has gotten to the other side of things, now that has happened, a lot of artists are going to be kind of like, I don't need to do verses because I can do concerts now, or soon I can do concerts. And verses really came up because it was a time where we wasn't having concerts like that, and people needed stuff to do. So you have that factor. I have been seeing reports that Lil Kim wants to go against Nicki Minaj. I'd like to see that. I like to see that. So last night was the BET Awards. So during the pre-show red carpet, Lil Kim revealed that she wants to go up against Nicki Minaj in the next verses. They do want to do a ladies edition. Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj would be amazing. And that would be pretty good. I don't know if it's gonna happen though. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Would Kim obviously wants to do it? Would Nicki want to do that? Would Nicki want to get? I don't know if she would want to do it. There's obviously a lot of tension over the years between these two. Nicki has not responded as of yet to the challenge. They have traded shade back and forth over the years. And they are not the kind of, they're not the kind of entertainers that are really rocking with each other. Although I would like to see it, it's probably more appropriate for Lil Kim and Foxy Brown. Either way, Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj, that would be cool. That would be more than cool. Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, that would be cool as well. Either way, give us one of those. Give us one of those two. I think that people would want to see that. I think people would want to see that. But definitely, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, at the Dominic Show, at Radio on Fire. So another reveal. Guys, another reveal that we got. Cardi B is pregnant with baby number 2. So she's expecting her second child with Offset. And the rapper revealed her pregnancy at the BET Awards last night, while on stage with the Migos during their performance. So the announcement, broadcast from the Microsoft Theater in LA, is the second time Cardi's used live TV to confirm that she is pregnant. Couple's first child, when the couple's first child, Culture, was on the way, Cardi debuted her baby bump on Saturday Night Live. And that child's almost 3 years old now. Wow, that time flies. Cardi was nominated for 5 awards: Best Female Hip Hop Artist, Best Collaboration for WAP, Viewers' Choice Award for WAP again, and Video of the Year twice for both WAP and Up, while the Migos had the Best Group nomination at the BET Awards. So after her performance, she shared another photo of her pregnancy. So definitely congratulations are in order to the happy couple. Yeah, I like this couple of Cardi and Offset. There were a lot of other moments for the BET Awards. So there was a nice tribute to DMX, of course, the late DMX. You know, what what are some other moments that we had last night? Queen Latifah honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award, well deserved. Queen Latifah, rapper, actor, producer, entrepreneur. She was very worthy of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Her contributions to music have been immense. Taraji kicked off the show, welcoming the crowd to the BET Awards. There were a lot of moments, a lot of standout moments. It doesn't hit. The award shows just don't hit the way they used to. However, this was cool. This was cool. Her winning the best female R&B / pop artist. You had some worthy contenders in there. Of course, Beyonce, Jasmine Sullivan, Summer Walker, SZA, Janae Aiko. But her winning that best male R&B and pop artist, that went to Chris Brown. Chris Brown beating The Weeknd. I don't know who had a better year, Chris Brown or The Weeknd. I'd probably say The Weeknd. But Chris Brown winning, I don't have any problem with that. Best group was Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Silk Sonic. Okay, you say so. City Girls was in the running. Migos, Chris Brown and Young Thug, 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, etc., etc. Best collaboration went to, we said, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion for WAP. Best male hip hop artist was Lil Baby. And, I guess I don't have a problem with that. The Baby was also in that running. Drake, J. Cole, Pop Smoke, Jack Harlow. Now, Jack Harlow should not have been in this conversation. He was cool. He had a cool year, but he should have been in the conversation. But whatever. They had that best female hip hop artist winner, of course, Meg Thee Stallion. And I don't have any problem with that. As far as female rapper, I think that she was the one for this year. Video of the year, we talked about that. That was WAP. And so there was, those are like the main ones. But there are, of course, other winners. And you can check all of that out, radiofire.com, or of course on bet.com. So we'll be back here tomorrow with more of the program, Down the in the morning, on the radiofire.com. Also, as news breaks today, we will be popping in for latest news, radiofire.com. 7 p.m. tonight, the RTV radio show will be here, and kicking off tomorrow, the traffic jam mix. A lot of things going on. Definitely stay tuned. Social media at the Don K Show, at Radio on Fire.